Hello, we are on our third lesson today, multi-step equations. So we were starting off with our 1 and 2 step equations. Now we have a little bit more complicated steps here. So if you have some more stuff going on, if you ever get kind of confused, you can refer to these steps right here. We're just going to work through and kind of solve some of these together. So our first step is distribute. So I'm going to work through question 1 here and explain these steps as we go. So if you're going to distribute, that is where it looks like typically you're going to have parentheses. Okay, maybe there's a 2x plus 1, right? And you multiply the 2 by the x and the 2 times the 1 to give us 2x plus 2. Okay, well this first question here doesn't have parentheses, so we're not going to be distributing. Okay, so I know I don't need to do that, so I can go to step 2. Combine like terms on the same side of the equal sign. So I look on the left side and on the right side. Neither of those have like terms because they have, like 12 has an x, negative 4 does not. So those are not going to be like terms there. So I'm done with step 2. Step 3, if there are variables on both sides, use inverse operations to combine them. So I have a variable on the left and on the right. So 12x is positive, so to do our inverse, I want to subtract it and subtract it from the 14. You could do the 14 from the 12, but I try to avoid getting a negative variable. So that gives me 2x. I like to go ahead and move my constants at the same time. So negative 10 and negative 4 are my constants. Since I moved from the left to the right before, now I need to move from the right to the left so I don't end up having 0 on either side. So I will add 10 since that's the inverse of minus. Add it to negative 4. Remember, you can always use a calculator to help you figure these parts. So that gives us positive 6. And now divide by 2 on both sides to get the x totally by itself. And that is x equals 3. Oh, forgot to work through my steps there. So I kind of described they're a constant on both sides. And then lastly, divide by the variable's coefficient. So kind of reminding you on that, the coefficient here was 2. You will still need that from that first lesson. Okay. Number 2, so I have 12x minus 30 equals 6. I do not have any distribution. I don't have variables on both sides. So now I want to combine my like terms on opposite sides by doing inverse operations. So minus 30, to make that 0 or cancel out, the opposite is plus 30. Add 30 to 6 as well, same thing to both sides. Gives us 12x equals 36. And lastly, divide by the coefficient of 12. Giving us x equals 3 again. Okay, I want to try 3, and then I would recommend you pause and try 4 on your own. 3 does look a little bit different. So we have the sum of x and 2 divided by negative 4 equals 6. So when you start off with that divided by on bottom, I need to get rid of that first. So negative 4 is in the denominator. So I want to multiply in the numerator to cancel it out, because typically if you ever have a number over itself, they cancel and give us 1. So that's what we're sort of trying to do there. So that would cancel the negative 4 in the numerator and denominator. But I also, since I multiply by negative 4 on this side, have to do that over here, because the opposite of divide was multiply. So now I have x plus 2 equals 6 times negative 4 is negative 24. And then I'm left with x plus 2. So to move the 2, I subtract it. And x equals negative 26. All right, 4. So I would go ahead and pause and try this on your own. Okay, hopefully you've paused and you're checking now. So remember to get rid of this divide by 3. I multiply by 3 in the numerator to cancel it out. Multiply by 3 on this side. So x minus 5 equals 12. Add 5. X equals 17. All right, number 5. So we have some distribution here because I have these parentheses. So you want to be careful that you are only distributing the term that is directly in front of the parentheses, so the 2. So the negative 4x in this case is just going to come straight down. So I have negative 4x, I'll distribute that 2 to the 5x, giving us 10x, and then distribute it to the negative 6, giving me negative 12. Nothing's happening with my right side just yet, so I'll bring that down. All right, combine like terms on the same side. So negative 4x and 10x are like terms because they both share x. So then I just add negative 4 plus 10 is 6x, minus 12 equals, still nothing happening here. All right, now combine like terms on opposite sides. So I would probably start with adding my 3x since it was minus. That gives us 0, cancels. Add it with its like term on this side. So 6x plus 3x is 9x. And also, since I moved right to left, I now need to move left to right. So I'm going to move the 12 by adding it. That's 0. Bring down my equals and add 12 to negative 39, which is going to give me negative 27. Lastly, divide by the coefficient of 9. So x equals negative 3. Okay, I would pause to work out number 6 on your own, and then you can play it to check your answer. Okay, hopefully you are checking your answer. So I'm distributing negative 2 to each term in the parentheses. So negative 2 times w is negative 2w. Negative 2 times negative 7, our negatives cancel out and give us 14. The 10w I just bring down, and the 34 I bring down. So I did my distribution. Step 2, combine like terms on the same side. So that is 8w plus 14 equals 34. Like terms on opposite sides would be the 14 and the 34. So since they're opposite sides of the equals, I have to do opposite operation, or inverse. So 34 minus 14, bring my 8w down, gives me 8w equals 20. Divide by the coefficient of 8. Okay, and this actually comes out to 2.5. And that is okay to get a decimal sometimes. It's usually not going to be a real crazy decimal. Hopefully it's somewhat normal. All right, and now we're looking at a word problem here. So it says, Mark buys 5 movie tickets online for $60. To purchase the tickets online, Mark was charged a $1.50 processing fee. Write an equation to represent the situation. So I usually always start writing an equation with the total, or what I know like the final was, okay? So I start with typically that goes after the equals. We know his total was $60. Okay, I know he bought 5 movie tickets, and it says a $1.50 processing fee, so I know, and fee, I know there was only one of them, okay? But 5 tickets, and it says that we're solving the equation to find the price of each ticket. So I'm going to use T to equal the cost per ticket. So that is the information we don't know. So you're always going to be picking a variable to represent whatever number you're still looking for or you don't know. So I can write that as 5T, so that's 5 times the cost of each ticket, plus $1.50, or I could just put 1.5. I don't have to have the 0, and now I am going to solve it down here. So 5t plus 1.5 equals 60. I start off, I want to move the constants away. Be careful here if you set it up like that. Remember, your decimals should line up when you subtract. Okay, so that gives me a total of $58.50 once we take out the processing fee. And then my last step is divide by my coefficient of 5. which gives me T, or the cost per ticket, to be 11.7, or since it is money, I'm going to do 11.7D. Okay. All right, so equations is something we kind of use commonly to find missing parts in life. We just may not think of it as setting up an equation. So it's a useful skill to have, and I hope this made sense for you guys. If you have any questions, of course, message me and let me know. Have a great day.